Okay guys, so today we're going to be making some breadfruit flatbread or roti. Now I did do a recipe like this some time ago, but I'm going to make some changes in this recipe just to show you that there are different ways to make things, okay? So here I have some ripened breadfruit. So I'm just going to mash it some more. Here, make sure everything is nice and mashed and that there's no big clumps, okay? So this is going to be gluten-free, but like I said, there are always different ways to do things. It's not only one way of making something. You can make something in different ways. All right? So I think everything is mashed. I'm not feeling any big clumps. All right, so I think that is mashed there. So what I'm going to do now is put it in my bowl here, my mixing bowl. Very sticky. All right, so to this, I am going to add 3/4 cup of brown rice flour. So usually I would use my Bob Red Mill 1-to-1 mix when I'm, making flatbreads and so forth. However, if you cannot get that, and you could only get the brown rice flour, then we will use the brown rice flour. So we're going to use 3/4 cup of this brown rice flour. Okay, so we have that there. And what I'm going to do is use 1/4 cup of tapioca flour. So I'm going to use 1/4 cup of that. All right, along with that, let's put 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to add some nutrition to this. So I'm going to be adding some collagen powder to it as well. I'll leave a link in the description for these. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of that. Of course, this is optional. I'm just showing you that there are different ways of doing things, and you could even, add extra ingredients. I'm going to also add 1 tablespoon of psyllium husk powder. Again, this helps add fiber to your diet. All right, so we're going to add 1 tablespoon of that. Nice. All right, so what we're going to do now is we want to mix everything together. So I guess I better get my hand in there. And we will add water slowly in order to form this into a dough ball. And I'm doing is squeezing because I need to incorporate everything together. Now I may need to add more flour because remember this is a ripened fruit and it could be sticky. So I may need to add more flour, but we will see how things go first, right? I'm just trying to squeeze a little bit to get some of the flour into the breadfruit, and then I'll add my water slowly. And so just start adding some water. You don't want to add too much because remember we will get moisture from the ripened breadfruit itself. That's why we want to add this very slowly. Once we see this come into a ball, then obviously we stop. right, so this has come into a bowl. So I don't think I need to add any more liquid to this. I think this is good here. So now what we're going to do is pinch off pieces like this, and we're going to roll it into smaller balls like this. Okay, so let me get to doing that. Okay, so now we're going to use our tortilla press to press out our flatbread. Alright, so here we have our breadfruit flatbread. Alright, so let's cook our flatbread. So I'm going to put a little bit of coconut oil and just put it here. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the texture of the breadfruit flatbread or roti. As you can see, even though I use rice flour and tapioca flour, it is somewhat flexible, right? So this is the texture of the breadfruit flatbread, doing it in this other way. Of course, if you want to see the other recipe that I did in making the breadfruit flatbread, I will leave a link in the description so you can see how I did the previous one. So in other words, then you have options now as to how you can make it. Maybe I should just rip into one. See that? So you can use this to eat with curry. You could use this if you're gluten-free and you want to eat it with chana. You can do that. So yeah, there you go. You have an option that if you do have a ripe breadfruit, that you can make breadfruit flatbread to enjoy.